It's live.
Yep.
Beckley has no
Oh,
idea we're
mine
live
doesn't
right
say
now.
on air. Mine doesn't say on air. Shoot. Okay. Well, good day to you. Welcome to HoopSpeak Live. I am Beckley Mason, and there's no teleprompter delay here. My sign just says off air still, so I'll never know when we're on or off. Apparently. With me is Ethan Sherwood Strauss and Zach Deborah Harper. How are you guys doing today? Yeah,
Pretty
Zach, you're
good.
looking
Pretty
fly. What's the
good.
deal with the tie, man?
I have lost every take the bacon that I have not had a tie, so this is the slump buster right here.
Okay, well, good luck with that. We begin today. We got a lot of interesting, fun things to talk about today. Eurobasket, Summer League, actual basketball, kind of on TV. You watch it through the internet or be there in person. But we do want to start off with a obviously very somber and serious tone, and that is the news with Javaris Crittenton. He's now in custody. He's been charged with killing a woman in Atlanta. And there was a really fascinating post that Kyle Weedeye did for True Hoop that Javaris Crittenton's Twitter account is protected. But Kyle had, asked him to be approved, and he got access to these tweets. And if you go over to True Hoop and scroll down a little bit, you'll see them. Actually, I'll put the link in the chat here, and you guys can check it out if you haven't seen it yet. But it's a really interesting post because Kyle goes to great lengths to not have any commentary associated with the tweets. And I was just wondering what you guys thought about that kind of journalistic approach and what you thought about that post.
I thought it was a really good post, and it was the exact right approach because we were kind of talking about this a little bit earlier, but in the 24-hour news cycle, there's this great demand for new information, even when no new information is being produced. And Kyle, he was just smart to put, here's what it is. You can interpret it how you want, and not to layer any commentary over it, because really we don't know that much about this really sad and tragic occurrence, and we can't do much in the way of interpreting it. But if you have information, you might as well put it out there. I think it was the right move. It was really well done.
Yeah, it was definitely the right move. I don't know that it led a whole lot into the psyche of what Crittenton was doing leading up to things because I mean he's talking about tough guys behind the computer and trouble seems to find him everywhere. I mean a lot of he's not the only athlete to ever tweet stuff like this. It's not like it's necessarily earth-shattering stuff, but it is at least just it was a nice approach to take for the simple fact of I'm not going to try to overanalyze every tweet he's done and show you that we could have seen this coming. It's just kind of like, hey, this is what this guy talks about and this is what this guy does, and maybe it's a look into these are regular tweets from people. This stuff can happen when we least expect it. And, we heard about the gun stuff with Crittenden in the Washington locker room, but I don't know that anyone ever thought that he was actually a guy who would put it into use. A lot of these guys just carry because it's cool.
Yeah, I don't. I think there's a real impulse for us and for everybody to build a narrative around Crittenton. And I don't know that we have enough information to do much more than kind of create something where it may not, or the facts and whatever else may not pull that together. And there's a real, also another impulse for us to kind of pull a lesson from it, even if that lesson is, this is senseless. And I think that, it's almost like a human innate characteristic that we want to do that. And I thought it was really fascinating that Kyle was able to so completely remove that desire from his post. And obviously, no matter who's guilty, it's a major tragedy, and you just hope that I don't know, it resolves itself, the truth comes out, and everyone who is not guilty stays not guilty.
I think you raised a really good point there about how we want to contextualize it and almost explain it, even if it's senseless. And I think often in something shocking like this, the thirst for context can really distort the context around the event. I mean, this is quite a dissimilar tragedy, but I'm reminded a bit of the great Dave Cullen book Columbine, which came out a few years ago, and I'd recommend it to everybody. It really lays out how people reacting to that tragedy completely constructed a popular narrative of what went on that was wildly untrue. But that's what we know of today, just because what happens immediately in the aftermath of a big emotional event is what we tend to remember. That's what the media reports. So I don't know. All I can really do is say that it's sad, and I hope justice is found in response to it. And on the periphery, Kyle did a great job by not trying to insert his opinion too much on matters that we can't really reconcile at this juncture.
Yeah, Kyle always does great work, and I thought, this is just another example of really just good, not even that investigative journalism or anything like that. It was just a different thing that we weren't going to get pretty much anywhere else.